The Objective News Network, fraudulent government record checks on Americans. Hello, this is John Hnatio reporting for the Objective News Network. Do you have a criminal record? Don't be too sure. The FBI's Criminal Justice Information Center, or CJIC for short, is a high-technology hub in the hills of West Virginia that serves as the FBI's eyes, ears, and permanent library for collecting and maintaining criminal justice information on millions of Americans. In fact, it is the largest division in the entire FBI. Programs initially consolidated under the CJIS division included the National Crime Information Center, NCIC, the Uniform Crime Reporting System, UCR, and the Fingerprint Identification Unit. In addition, responsibility for several ongoing technological initiatives were transferred to the CJIS division, including the Integrated Automated Fingerprint Identification System, NCIC 2000, and the National Incident-Based Reporting System. The NCIC databases report both arrests and convictions. The database is permanent, so information on your case never goes away. However, you cannot have access to this information. Did you know that the FBI and DHS can classify you as being a domestic terrorist if you even appear to intimidate or coerce in any way a civilian population, or if you influence policy of government by intimidation or coercion, close quote. A number of very loosely defined terms that are being used to suppress the First Amendment rights to free speech in America. How about the 2,000 Army soldiers accused of allegedly stealing millions of dollars in a terribly mismanagement Army program to increase recruitment? When word of the scandal and a botched U.S. Army investigation of the corruption broke out, the Army created a special task force to independently investigate its own botched investigation. Sounds a bit like an oxymoron to most people. In their original investigation, the Army gave 2,000 service members their very own lifetime criminal records, courtesy of the FBI and their Criminal Justice Information Center. The Army's investigation of its own botched investigation downplayed and swept under the rug most of what really happened. Nonetheless, the startling fact remains that only 138 soldiers were ever found guilty of anything, while the other 1,862 soldiers who were never charged, arrested, or prosecuted were given lifetime felony convictions courtesy of the FBI. Under intense congressional scrutiny, the Army was forced to correct the terrible injustice they influenced on members of their own ranks. And it's not just the Army that red flags innocent Americans courtesy of the FBI's Criminal Justice Information Center. Take the case I've reported to you in the past, where a 30-year veteran of the civil service who used to protect nuclear weapons volunteered to help his local police department write Justice Department grants for badly needed equipment and resources. He was shocked after so many years in government service working with law enforcement to be red flagged by the FBI and their Criminal Justice Information Center as a criminal of some sort. He never committed any crime. He was never arrested for anything, and yet he now has a record that will follow him for the rest of his life. Meanwhile, the FBI refuses to say what he allegedly did. Now, you may be thinking where and how the FBI develops the adverse information it needs to red flag a person as a criminal for the rest of their life, even though they have done absolutely nothing wrong. And for this one, I want to show you this copy of an email obtained by the American Legal Foundation between a former employee of Twitter and DHS employee Brian Scully. In the email, Scully is seen responding to an email from someone in Twitter whose name has been redacted, requesting information on debunks to a video news report released by the new journalist organization Project Veritas. A case of irrefutable evidence of unlawful domestic collection violating the First Amendment to our Constitution. According to an article appearing in the Post-Millennial, and I quote, journalist James O'Keefe of O'Keefe Media Group revealed on Saturday that Twitter censored his reporting at the direction of the Department of Homeland Security before Elon Musk took over the social media platform in 2022. Elon Musk later revealed that the responsible Twitter employee left the company. This example, of course, is just the tip of an iceberg, a huge iceberg of evidence, irrefutably demonstrating that the FBI and DHS were involved in using Twitter to censor and proliferate false information and the abject violation of the Constitution, our First Amendment right to free speech, and unlawful domestic intelligence collection by our own government. But when you combine the ability of the FBI, DHS, and other members of the intelligence community to develop and maintain databases that include fraudulent and self-generated information without any effective oversight, you do not have a democracy. So under the circumstances, we may all want to ask ourselves some very serious questions, like, how can you possibly trust the FBI and DHS as legitimate institutions of our government? Under 2 decades of presidential administrations and numerous electoral cycles, with all of this happening, where was the congressional oversight necessary to prevent these kinds of wholesale abuses by the government? Is it time to abolish the FBI and DHS and try to come up with new institutions composed of people that are moral and ethical, who believe in our Constitution? What do we do about a Congress that does not meet its obligations to the people of our republic by overseeing the executive and judicial branches of our government to prevent the gross corruption of our institutions of government that we are seeing today? It is what it is for June 5th, 2023. This is John Hnatio reporting for the Objective News Network. Thank you all for watching, and please subscribe and comment. We value your ideas and any comments you can give us.